Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello. I don't know if I'm actually showing video on this. Error occurred. Okay. Let me try to restart the stream. Oh, okay. Zombie, you see it? Good. Hey, Patrick. I see you in chat. Okay, so you can see my see my printer, right? Because I'm not showing the preview in YouTube, but that's okay. Whatever. Hazard front light. Yes, you're right. You're seeing a hazard front light. I'm gonna be using this. Round 2. That's right, Dustin. Let's get this. We're where we left off last night, before I started getting delirious. We got the wires all nicely, well, mostly nicely covered. So we're ready to start hooking them up to the actual ramps board and light off the printer and see what happens. I think I'm gonna need to do, let's see. Cool. So I need to do a couple things. I need to, well, ultimately I'll need to cut these wires shorter to get them connected, but for now we'll use the same lengths and I'll just zip tie stuff together here. I still don't know what I'm going to do with that motherboard, if I'm going to replace it with the SKR 1.3 that we've been playing with Zambu, that he's been testing, or if I'll stick it out with the ramps with the rearm board that's coming pretty soon. But yeah, I think ultimately I want to go to a 32-bit board, so that's going to take some time, and I'll get that done. Okay, so I need to be in view. I wish I had my preview working in YouTube, but okay, whatever. I guess it's not going to. As long as I have the chat, that's all that matters, really. Let me get set up here a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, there's the ramps board. Switch over to another view, desk and overhead. Actually, overhead and desk. Cool. So I need to get these wires prepped for connection. So this is for the fan, and they're pretty long, but that's okay. For these, I'll actually put ferrules on them. What smoke are you referring to? Okay. La-di-da. That's my printer singing in the back. My other printer singing. I'm printing another piece for the flight simulator rudder pedals. Nice 6.5 hour print. Okay. More of a whine than a song. Let's see. Oh, I keep forgetting Zambo. You don't have a Zambo doesn't have audio, so he's not actually hearing me when I'm responding to his comments in Discord. Um, oh man, that didn't trip at all. I think I was too big of a ferrule. Yeah, well, actually, I'll try the smallest one. I hate when it happens. I love these ferrule things, but not when they slide off easily. So while I do this, which is pretty boring stuff, and I want to talk to you guys about some other things on the channel too. I'm thinking of like, you know, with my time right now is a little limited, so I'm not able to keep up with my, at least, you know, the video schedule that I wanted to have. Like, you know, I wanted to release a video every week. So that's kind of hard to do right now with all the projects that I have going on. And I mean, part of this is, you know, these are my hobbies too. So like, I kind of want to have some time to play with my hobbies and learn new things. But that said, I know there is a lot of interest in OpenHab and you know, the videos that I made, the basics videos. I do want to make more of those, but I think rather than delay, you know, releases and you know, wait for new videos to come out, I was thinking of just doing like an OpenHab live stream. So let me know what you guys think about that. I was thinking of maybe taking on the project or a rule or a piece of functionality in OpenHab that I might be familiar with or I might not be familiar with, and we can kind of sit through a live stream and figure it out, maybe learn some things and chat about ideas and OpenHab stuff. So if you can, you know, if you're listening to this, comment down below or comment in chat if you're here live, and let me know what you think about that, because I think that might be a more manageable thing for me to do right now. Okay, that's done. The x-axis already has connectors. Cool. I'm ready to plug this. Well, we're ready to wire this thing up. So, need a tweaker. Can you guys still see it? Can you guys still see me live? I'm still wondering whether or not this is actually showing up on video, or I don't see a preview on the YouTube. So I don't know. Okay, so let me see. This might be a better view for you now. Okay, so from the extruder, First I want to get rid of some of these wires. Get these wires out of my way, so let's remove them. Okay, this is the Z-axis stuff. I need to, well, I will fix that at some point later on, once I have an enclosure for the motherboard. Seeing overhead only. Okay. Now pick. Okay, cool, good. All right, we're gonna get these wires out of the way. From the extruder, I have the hot end. Now this is why I need my hazard front free flashlight when it works. Because I don't have a really good lighting in this room yet. I need to fix that at some point. Plugging in the, or attempting to plug in the extruder thermistor. Come on. Alright, close enough. The axis board is already in there. Okay, and then that was the extruder thermistor. Extruder stepper. I think I want to get it in there from. Let me set this up a little bit better. Extruder steppers in there. Okay. The 12-volt extruder fan for the full-time fan, for the hot end fan. Let's see. That will go on this 12-volt port right there if I can get it in there. 12 volts is, I think, on the right side. So let's try to get that. Well, this JST connector will actually fit on there. What do I think about that? Let's see. It's pretty tight against the stepper driver. I think it's the same pin pitch. Yeah, seems to work. I don't know if it'll actually spin up, but we'll see. Okay, and then the rest of the wires are, let's see, the Z-axis, the sensor, which I actually have hooked up to the power supply wiring because I'm stealing 12 volts from the power supply, and okay. And I hope I have this thing connected the right way. Brown is power. Should have probably documented this when I was doing this. Yellow is, oh, I think I have this backwards. Hold on. Man, I should have checked this out. Brown is okay. Yeah, that's right. And red is the ground. Okay, I think this is right. Should have taken a photo of this before I took it apart. This NPN signal. Let me check something out before I hook this thing up backwards and let the smoke out. Okay, so they have blue is the ground, black is the signal, and brown is the positive voltage. So, excuse me, blue is the ground. Blue is the ground, which is middle pin here, which is red. Red is the ground. Although when that goes in, that's yeah, red is the ground. Okay, red's the ground. So yep. All right. So this is the way it's hooked up, and then well, let's see. Brown is the positive voltage, which goes to red here, which goes to brown, which goes to positive voltage. All right, cool. So we actually got that right. So that's the Z inductive sensor, and then two remaining wires are your fan and your extruder heater. So positive on the right. So I'm hooking up the fan right now. Play by play. I'm trying to do this in the view of the camera, because I know yesterday when I was working on this stuff it was a little more it wasn't as visible, so I'm trying to do it for you guys today, where you know it might take a little longer, but it's better in the camera view. How's my audio, by the way? Because I know with the printer sounds in the background, that might be too loud, and I might be speaking too soft. Okay, I need to do this the right way, I think. 1 second. Z-axis wiring is in my way, and okay, here we go. Get that one in there. Okay. So this is just having a part fan on this extruder is actually an upgrade for the printer, because up until now I just had a fan sitting off to the side of the bed. So having a fan directly on the extruder is gonna be nice. Okay, and then the last bit of wiring from the hot end is the actual thermistor, or not the thermistor, the heater. So that's this wire here. We need to loosen that up a little bit. Okay, one in. Grab some needle nose. That's much better. Okay, cool. Just need a needle nose pliers, that's all. Alright, cool. So, extruder wiring is all done, and the only thing that's left is the x-axis. So, I think red is on top. And my flashlight again. Definitely can't wait for upgrading my board to something with a little more access. Ramps. The ramps are just not designed for easy, ease of use, ease of wiring. So that's that, and then I'm still missing my Z inductive sensor switch wire, and that's because it's part of the power supply harness here. So try and navigate this without knocking the camera over. Okay. X, Y, and Z. End stops are in place. Okay, and while I'm here, it's using an old G3D display and encoder, but since I will ultimately be upgrading this to a, almost full or pretty much full Prusa i3 Mark 2.5, I'm going to replace this with the RepRap World display that they use. So I need to use the same header that those guys do. Wow. Yeah. Just didn't want to get in there. And then this is the display. I'm throwing in the overhead. So we'll get to that. I guess actually I will hook that up now. My got these ribbon cables from AliExpress. They're the right size for, I'm not sure how long they are, 23 inches, so what, 50, 60 centimeters. So they're perfect length for well, excuse me, for going from the ramp board to the front of the Prusa from the printer when the display is mounted on the x-axis, or the y-axis, I mean. So give me a Sharpie. I'm gonna mark up these wires 1 and 2. Okay, just checking on my print while I was there. One, two. All right. What do we got? We've got two. We're going here, and one will go in here. We'll connect the same on the actual display. One and two, and I will need to change the firmware to accept this new display, but we'll get to that. Okay, so let me see how I can do this. I'm gonna go back to the overhead view, and first, before we turn this thing on, I want to kind of clean up this wiring a little bit, so when we move the bed, we don't break something off the printer. So actually, I wish I hadn't hooked these ribbon cables up yet, but that's okay. We can do this without too much pain. Lots of spare wire length, which ultimately I want to get rid of. But for now, I'll just zip tie it all together, out of the place, out of the way. Like I said before, this printer has been kind of been building it since 2013, so it's gone through several iterations. And it may not be ever finished. Alright, so now that I've done that, I can hook up the power supply. Just one quick check on the wiring still. Hopefully we don't let the smoke out. Make sure I didn't put any wires in place. Alright, let's see. I don't like how this is still kind of in the way. Let me get rid of that lead wiring. Anybody in chat? You guys are kind of quiet. Okay, cool. The bed's fine. Somebody's lighting up while I'm doing that, so that's a good sign. Just a quick check. Okay, cool. This guy out of the way, middle. Put the bed in the middle, and I think I'm ready to light up. So again, we're on the overhead view, right? And I have my power cable here. I forgot that I was going to do that. Yeah, that's probably going to do that until I change the firmware. So I'm going to disable or disconnect it for now. All right, so yeah, before I do anything else too, let me hook up the USB cable while I'm doing this as well. Okay, picked up the printer. So let's see if I can. Well, I'm gonna fire off printer face and do this through printer face right now. Even though I normally have Octopi hooked up to this thing, but my Octopi is in on the other desk. So here we go. Cool. We have a printer on COM3 maybe, and it's gonna be at 250K. Yeah, look at that, picked up right now, right away. So for now, before I plug the power in, let's check the end stops, because the end stops should work. No, they won't for Z. Okay, well, we'll figure that one out. Let's I am gonna plug the power in. The one thing that's not happening is I'm not getting the extruder fan spinning. I really hope that's not because it's dead. That would suck. We just did all that wiring, and I know I tested it before. Okay. Not gonna worry about that for now. Let's see if we can at least move the. Okay. I'm moving the x-axis, but it's reversed. So we'll fix that in firmware. I don't want to fix that in. Well, I mean the wiring's good, pretty much. It's red, red on top, which is the standard. All right, moving Y closer to the bed, to the home position works. So the Y is in the right spot. Z-axis is in the right place. Okay, cool. So actually, let's check the end stops. M119. End stops open. I'm gonna manually cycle the switch, and Y is triggered. Okay. And now I'm gonna trigger the X and stop. Triggered. And I'm gonna take a piece of steel. Hopefully I will see a light. No. Oh yeah. Okay. I guess I'm not seeing the light on the sensor, on the inductive sensor. It's probably because the light from the lamp is overpowering it. Yep, it's definitely turning red. Okay, cool. So that's working. But our X direction is going to be off. So let's try to figure out why the extruder fan's not spinning. I don't know if I have it connected properly. Oh my god, that's hooked up. Okay, let me unplug the power again, and well, it could be also, could just be wound. No, it's definitely free here. It's been freely there, so. It's kind of broke apart. Alright, so let's see what I can do with this thing. Okay. So, man, I'm really not secured very well with all my wiring here for now. So I just don't think I'm making the connection on the 12 volts here. The external 12 volt signal. So what can we do? I think I have a spare JST connector so we can test that through the fan. Yeah, let's do this. Let's test it out. The problem is I don't have an actual female jumper. Just a bunch of 4-pin and tiny, small 2-pin connectors. Okay, so maybe that's not going to happen. I would like to test it out though, because I'm pretty sure I tested it before I put those things on. I wanted to avoid having wired up the entire extruder and then finding out that the fan doesn't work. So that's kind of crappy. What I can do is I can test resistance. Across the connector and see if at least the fan is actually making the connection. So that's not as easy as I thought it would be, but let's see. I can hopefully get it in there. I don't think I'm making a connection either. DuPont pins, that's what they're for. Okay. Hopefully this in here too. Print sounds like it's going well. He thinks I have a bad fan. Ugh, I hate these things. Specifically, I thought I've tested this thing. I'll try another one. Get these things from AliExpress and you're basically trying your luck. Alright, so this is a spare fan that I have. .484 ohms. Yep. So, yeah. That's a good fan. Or probably a good fan. Who knows? There might be something else wrong with it. And this here well, oh, come on. I need alligator clips for this testing. It kind of sucks. Nope, yeah, no connection there. Alright, well, so we already know we have one thing we're gonna have to replace. And yeah, I don't really feel like breaking apart this extruder and this fancy organization job that we did last night. So we'll skip that for now. So let's focus on getting the firmware right. We'll do some basic movements, and then I mean, if I'm happy with the x-axis today, that's a good thing. So, and at some point we'll replace the fan. All right, so where were we? Actually, you know what? Just to make sure, I'm gonna hook up this fan, the spare one, so we can kind of get the full experience. And make sure that it's not the ramps board or something. That's in. Okay. Now should be in the overhead view. So that's this little fan I just hooked up. And when I power up the power supply now, really? Nothing there. I mean, it's possible that these things are just crappy, or they're not 12 volts. They are 12 volts. That's not the issue. I'm surprised by that. Might not be the fan after all, though. Well, I mean, that one's definitely bad because it's open circuit through the wires, so there's something else wrong with escaping me right now. Okay, so that being said, let's look at the firmware again, or let's look at the other things that are coming through. Temp of the extruder is 21.5 and bed temperature is 21. So if I hold the extruder block or the hot end in with my fingers, it basically gets a little bit warmer, right? So that's a good sign. But now that we have a 12 volt connection, we could set the temperature just a little bit. Just it's a low temperature because I don't have the fan running right now, so I don't want to overdo anything. It's at 40 degrees Celsius. Very small temperature change, and yep, it's absolutely increasing. 24, 31, 37, 41. Okay, so we know the heater on the extruder is working at least, so that's good. And I didn't really change the bed, but just to make sure that everything's still working on the bed. Yep, bed just started heating and the temperature's increasing on it. Okay, so we know that's fine. So what do I want to do? I want to go into the firmware. So I'm going to disconnect here, and I want to do a couple things. I want to get. Let me pop open the firmware then. I'm going to change the display. I'm going to change the number of extruder steps, and I'm going to reverse the x-axis because we need to. No, I don't want to download a new version. Actually, sorry, my throat's still a little raspy. Alright, so in my configuration file, I want to find E steps. No, let's do x-axis. So invert, and there's like an invert setting for the axis. X min end stop. I don't need to invert. There we go. For inverting stepper enable pins. That's not right. That's not it either. That's not what it was. There we go. Invert the stepper direction. So I'm going to set this to false for the X. Okay. The next thing I wanted to do is fix my... Actually, yeah, I need to fix my X step. Well, X bed size. Still 200, 195. Main position 0. One of the things I can increase now that I don't have the Greg's weight on there anymore, I can increase the Z max. Not that I do many tall prints. Auto leveling UBL, that's still what I want to use. See, homing, that's fine. Skew settings I don't care about too much. Preheat temperatures, no. LCD, here we go. So LCD language English. SD support, yes. Encoder settings, yeah, we're fine for that for now. Actually, you know what? Let me pull up the black clone firmware because I'm going to be copying a lot of stuff from that as we go here. Imitating Peter Griffin and his pencil sharpener. What are you talking about, Zombo? I just checked chat. I saw your are you referring to the sounds behind me? Because that's, or the, you know, in the background? Because that's the that's the print finishing. That's the other printer running. Marlin. Okay, here we go. That's the other. That's my newer black clone. I basically differentiate them by the color of the aluminum extrusion or the aluminum frame. So this is the red clone, the other one's the black clone. They're both being built to be Mark 2.5s, but my that one is newer and therefore it's, you know, it was in a lot better shape from the start. This one is kind of, you know, old and I'm rebuilding it piece by piece. So alright, this is the other one. So let's look for display settings because I'm going to need those. Show custom boot screen. No, that wasn't really it. I don't want to update libraries right now. I don't need to change our thermistors. I will need to set the PIDs for the heater actually, so let's do that. I'm gonna turn on line numbers because Arduino IDE is not great. So back to this. So 383, 398. Here we go. Yeah, my pit settings were way off. That's for the Greg's Wade. So the ones I've been calibrating so far seem to work so far. I mean, are 33, 2, and 5 for the PID terms. And let's see what's next. Temp bed and the beds are set for that one. I'm not even gonna bother changing them for the bed right now because I'm gonna change the bed eventually anyway. Thermal protection, yes, but thermal protection is a little too aggressive for these extruders because excuse me, because the part fan takes away a lot of heat from the extruder. Human stop inverting, yes, true, okay. All my step driver settings are fine. Alright, here we go. This is the section that I needed before. Okay, so x-axis is now 200. That's fine, that's right. I did rebuild that before. Y-axis is 160 still because I'm using a GT2 pulley for that one still. That's the old bed. Z-axis is the same, and now I'm not using a Greg's Wade anymore, which used a very big gear conversion from, or very small gear to a larger gear for the extruder. So that's why we had all these steps. Ooh, hey, the print just finished. Sound of silence. Sound of a printer not running. It's eerie. All right, 287. The calibrated step. It's probably going to be a little different on this one because it's using a 3mm filament, and that might change the number of steps required a little bit, but that's fine. We'll fix that later. Yeah, all my feed rates will change to 120. We're good on the acceleration for now. Cool. Z probe options, Z probe Z. Nothing there. Fixed mounted probe. Okay, cool. Homing feed rate. I don't worry about this stuff for now. Disable. Okay. Inverting directions. Like I said, we don't need to do anymore. Fix that. Bed size doesn't matter right now. Okay, and then for the UBL stuff, I know I changed something on the newer printer. Restore leveling after G28, so that will mean that will keep my bed leveling active after homing. Cool. Z home position, that's right. The home position is different. Z safe homing and all that stuff I changed. Okay, well for now we're gonna keep that. I can always change that later on. And I don't have the new bed on here yet, so I don't want to mess with the position of the home. Grid points X, grid points Y. Okay, cool. Mesh is fine. LCD bed leveling. That's the same. The safe homing is enabled on the old printer and not on a new one, but I need it on the old printer because I don't have the large bed on here yet. Again, okay, additional features, EEPROM, keeping all my previous settings here. Nozzle park and LCD and SD support. This is the section I was most concerned about right now. Char set Japanese. SD support is enabled. Coders per step. Okay, I thought I had changed that. Okay, reverse encoder direction. That's the one thing that I needed to do. I remember that because the dial was working in the reverse in opposite direction from what I was used to. Sensor buzzer. Nope. Controller. Okay, so now I'm gonna enable RepRap discount smart controller, and I'm gonna disable multi-panel and disable G3D panel. Cool. Alright, so I can save this now. I think there's other stuff in the advanced configuration, so I'm gonna keep the new printer firmware off to the side. And let's see, now I need to compile it for Omega. There we go. On port COM3. Yep. And upload. Hopefully everything works. Just like the fan. Check the chat. Hey, there's 4 people watching right now. Cool. Hopefully I'm not boring you guys to death. This firmware stuff is a little dry. But hopefully we'll be moving the printer soon. Okay. Still uploading. I see the light blinking on the ramps board. Alright, done. And now in printer face, I should be able to connect. I am. And if I did everything right, and slim chance of that, x-axis is moving the right way. Okay, look at that. Y-axis is moving the right way too. Okay, z-axis we didn't really change. Let's see if I can connect the display while it's powered up. I don't think that should be a problem, but you know, never know. Okay. Look at that. Cool. So that's working. All right. If everything, well, besides the fan, everything seems to be working well. Let's see if we can home this thing. and I'm going to be keeping a pretty close eye on it. And I'm sitting right here by the power switch. So ready? Follow home. There is one thing I forgot. Hopefully I don't crash into the bed. Nope. That did not work. Yeah, the sensor is too high. And I realized that as I was watching it go down. Oh well. It's not a proper printer build if you haven't crashed your nozzle into the bed. Fortunately, it wasn't a new bed, so. All right, so I need to adjust the sensor, obviously, because we know it worked. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect because I think that will stop the G28 command from going again. Yep, it does. It resets Marlin. So, actually, what I'm gonna do is very carefully this time. Second time around is when you're more careful. I will set the head, the nozzle right on top of the bed, and adjust each screw one at a time just so it's even across. Okay, so now as I move the head, as I move the extruder across the bed, I'm just watching for the distance between the nozzle and the bed to be just about even in different locations. Cool. It's not going to be perfect because my bed is not even because the y-axis is not even. But all the leveling will handle that. The problem that I had is we didn't set the sensor to be turned on, basically active in that position. So let's see. If I power this thing up now, yep, it's active. It's red. But it's actually below the sensor right now. Below the nozzle right now, which is not right, obviously. So I'm gonna lift it up a little bit. It's not the easiest task. Move it off a little bit, off the bed. Too much. So the position I'm in right now, or the position the nozzle is in right now, is where I want it to home. And still very much in the same level as the nozzle, so that's not going to work. Should loosen the bolts while it is. Okay. Slightly better. Still not great. Let's see if I can get it one notch higher. Yeah, 3. It just seems to be the same position. The only position I can get where it will activate is when it's right at the same level as the nozzle. It's not right. Okay, there you go. A little bit better. Still not very. Active. Not active. Don't want it to activate when it's right on top of the bed. Might also have to do with the fact that this is an aluminum built plate, so it's not the best for these sensors. Okay, cool. I think I'm gonna have to live with that. That's a little bit too low for me though, for my comfort. So I need to look into that. I might have hooked it up wrong in the first place. Because it's definitely not as sensitive as it used to be. I don't want to hook it up backwards just to try. I need to figure that out. Anyway, all right. So for testing, I want to test this thing just to make sure that it will activate again. So just for testing, we're gonna hook it up with it basically activating before the nozzle even gets close to the bed, just so we know we can stop it. All right, power's on. We'll raise Z a little bit. Home X. Home Y. And home Z. All right, that's much better. So, yeah, so I'm not happy with that. I don't think I have something. I don't think I have this correctly hooked up yet. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is that fan not spinning on the extruder. But while we're here, let's actually turn on the fan for the part fan. Yeah, Dustin, it's alive. It's doing things. Couple of little problems here and there. I need to figure out what's going on with my induction sensor. Let me go to the console on here, and what's the part fan G code? Is it N160? No, that's like temperature, isn't it? When in doubt, try it out. No, what's the I can do this easily on Octopi, but I don't have Octopi here. So I'm gonna look this up. Set fan speed. M106. That was close. Yep, spinning. And I can feel it. So part fan's working, extruder fan is not. Wow. Shut that off. Z-axis needs to be leveled, and obviously I need to figure out whether the extruder is actually working or not. But until I can fix the extruder fan, I don't want to do that. I don't want to risk melting my extruder body. So I think we're good. I mean, I got the display working too, which is a good thing. I like this new display, so that's fine. I need to fix the wiring a little bit, and I mean, the next real big step, which I don't know how long it's going to take before I do that. I still like this bed. I still like using it, so I'm going to keep it on there for now. But next big thing for this printer will be rebuilding the y-axis fully. So we'll tackle that. We'll tackle that in the future live stream. For now, I got the firmware on here. can't think of anything else to show you guys right now. I mean, nothing that I can easily do, at least. So yeah, I think we'll end it up here. A little shorter live stream today than it was last night. But yeah, if you know, if you didn't hear what I was saying earlier in the live stream, I think I want to try having some more impromptu live stream like live streams like this, related to OpenHab. So I may do that in the near future. Looking forward to input. Join the Discord server if you haven't already. Join the Discord chat. We have a really good community going there. And yeah, hope to hear you guys. Hope to see you guys again. Thanks for watching the live stream, and thanks for supporting the channel. So this is BK Hobby, and we'll see you next time.